God speaks. Learning how to hear God's voice. First of all, I want to start with a powerful passage, Isaiah 52, verse 6. And listen to what this verse says. Therefore my people shall know my name. Therefore they shall know in that day that I am he that doth speak. Behold, it is I. My people will know my name. The prophet Isaiah is prophesying. My people will know my name. My name is I am he that doth speak. It transformed my Christian life. I had been in church every time the doors were open. I went to Bible college. I went to seminary. And no one had ever taught me how to hear God's voice. I had a prophet walk up off the street and give me a very specific answer to a very specific prayer that I had prayed. But I didn't know how to hear God for myself. People had told me God spoke to them, but I had been taught that if it's not written in God's word, then it's not the voice of God. Come to know that God is a God who has always spoken and will continue to speak. The question is, are we listening? Do we know how to hear God's voice? Every day, I want to know how to hear his voice better. We're going to look at what God's word says. We're going to learn some keys to practicing how to hear God's voice. Because there's one thing that transformed my life when I started to read the Bible every day as a 13-year-old. And I found that God does speak through his word, and he transformed my life. But it was as radical and powerful of a transformation when I learned that he actually wanted to talk to me. I thought God only speaks to important people, but in the God Speaks Bible, I spent years examining every time that God spoke. And you know what the amazing thing is? God speaks to nobodies. And I was like, I'm one of them. I'm nothing special. I'm no one important. Yeah, I was a pastor, but there's a lot of pastors. Yeah, this and yeah, that. But none of those things were what made a difference. When I realized God spoke to teenagers, to old men, when he speaks to paupers and to princes, to pastors and teachers, and he speaks to pagans, he speaks to people of all kinds in so many different ways. And we're going to learn some of those ways, how to hear God.